Right, get to work, get to work! I'll be watching you with hawk eyes this whole time, okay? I am not in the mood to tell you that again, as your one job as the younger wife in this house is to get all the chores done, even while everyone else is here.
Get to work? But there's nothing left for me to do now. I've cleaned up all the dishes, and there isn't anything else to vacuum now. I've gone through all the house and wiped down all the tables, and have gone up to every window and sprayed them and cleaned them in order to let the most light through them. I went and swept the stairs for you, as well as cleaned the kitchen floor and took out all the trash.
Have you gotten around to doing the laundry and all of that?
I finished with the laundry a little while ago. You can even see that everything is all folded up and put into our rooms to be placed away later. And I made sure to change the sheets on the sofa as well. So at this point, there is really nothing left for me to clean or do for you. I can't even think of another thing I could work on that would make any sense at this point.
Are you sure that's how you want to end things? All of the family will be coming here really soon, and you have to make a name for yourself by making this place look spectacularly clean. If there's one thing that they spot and comment on, I'm going to make sure you take responsibility for it. Will you be able to do that? It'll be a lot of pressure, and a lot of these people are much more strict than even I am.
Then can you go around and do a quick look over for me to see if there's anything I missed? That way we can both be on the same page about the cleanliness here, and I won't have to be too worried anymore.
Huh? Does that mean you're not going to be able to take responsibility for yourself? That's what it sounds like to me. Do you not have the confidence where you need me to come around and check everything for you? That is not my job to be doing. You should be more than capable of cleaning and doing chores in this house without having someone like me come around and spot check all your work.
All right. But this is how things always go with you, Jennifer. I ask you to check things for me first so that we can avoid conflicts later, but instead you don't bother to help by doing that, so at some point you can complain about me. It's not that I'm saying you want me to mess up on purpose, but it sure does seem like that way sometimes.
Then, if you don't want me to complain about you anymore, do a better job at cleaning what I've asked you to clean. If you can do that for me, then you might actually end up being a good wife for my son.
Are you serious?
I'll have you know that I've been to over 100 different kinds of high-end hotels, and have always made comments about the cleanliness of them. So, if you can get me to not say a single word about your cleaning, then that means you are doing better than over 100 different hotels are. That should make you happy, right?
What? Over 100 different hotels. Complaining that much about all of their cleanliness just makes you look more like a stuck-up snob than anything else.
You're a real pain in my butt. I think I'm going to have to raise you again, since your parents seem to have failed at that. Unlike women nowadays, back when I was first becoming my husband's wife, my mother-in-law pushed me so hard to make sure that I'd be perfect at everything. And now, having to see this new generation of wives has left me shocked. I can't believe that all of you just want to sit around all day doing everything so sloppily around the home.
We aren't trying to sit around all day doing nothing, though. At least I'm not trying to.
I know you all are. I've seen it with my own eyes time and time again. Especially you, Morgan. So I'm going to break you down and rebuild you from the ground up, all right? So be ready. It will not be easy, and I'm going to be honest and say that you will cry even more now with me working on you than when you were a baby.
But listen, what's with you putting up that camera in the living room to watch over me all the time? That right there shows me that you're taking this way too far. You're trying to make it really hard for me to have any time to take a break and relax.
You have no right to be allowed a break time in this house. When you are here, you have to work every second of the day, making sure the place is spotless and smells like nothing besides detergent. You will not stop working. I'll make sure of it, you useless woman.
Useless woman.
Morgan, are you doing all right? I just realized that it looks like you've been working all day to clean. How about you take a moment to sit down and relax a little?
Ah, Selena. Thank you so much for asking about how I'm doing. But unfortunately for me, I'm not able to take any time off for a break. I was told that I'm a useless woman. And so if I stop doing the chores here, I'll be done for.
What are you talking about right now?
Well, there's a lot that's gone into it, so... But just be aware that for the time being, I can't take any breaks, as it would not end well for me. I'm happy to see that you've noticed me working a lot, but I'm afraid it's going to have to stay this way today.
Does this mean that Jennifer said something to you that's made you act like that? I know that woman well, and this all seems like something she'd do.
It was something she told me. She told me this is to help retrain me and that this was for my own good so that I can remain a part of this family.
I see. That woman sure is a thing for making sure everyone is the perfect wife for their husband. She's way too old, though, for her to not be embarrassed by the way she acts. Well, listen, Morgan, you don't have to worry about a word that woman says to you, and you can take as many breaks as you'd like.
What? Are you sure about that? But...
You've already put in so much work getting all this cleaning done, so it'd be wrong of us to continue to make you work into the afternoon. I'd like you to take a seat with all of us and talk about yourself a little. After all, everyone's come here today to relax and chat.
All right. Thank you so much for checking up on me. It really helps me out a bunch.
By the way, have you brought any of what's been going on here up with Isaiah? Told him about how Jennifer is trying to work you way too hard? I'm sure he'd have something to say to his own mother, knowing what things she's done to you already.
Not yet. There hasn't been anything yet between her and I that would make me go to him about it yet. Also, Isaiah is in the middle of a couple of projects for work, so he doesn't have time to focus on this. And I don't want to get him all worried about what's going on here with his mom when he needs to be there.
You say that, but I feel as though he seems really worried about you and what you've been up to under the influence of your mother-in-law. I'm sure he realizes that something is up with you. So I really believe that you should bring this all up with him for once.
Of course. You are correct about what my Jennifer has been doing to me today, and that she has gone a little overboard with it. I will plan on bringing things up with him, or at least doing something that will really get his attention then.
Oh, is that right? I guess I didn't think you'd be willing to try and get his attention after saying you didn't want to disturb him. Well, that makes me feel a little better. I think that you'll be able to do all right then.
I think so too. So please, don't worry too much about me, and trust that I'll be able to handle all of this in one way or another. Go ahead and get back to chatting with everyone else now.
Thank you. I think I will then, but I'll make sure to watch and see how things go for you. You? Where the hell have you gone? Hurry up right now and get back here and get more work done. Plates are beginning to pile up in the sink.
I'm sorry, but I'm at the hospital right now.
Huh? The hospital? You're not some kind of nurse, right? You're a housewife that needs to stay in the home. Why did you think it was important of you to go to this hospital at a time like this?
Even if I'm not a nurse or anything like that, when I'm not doing well, I have the right to go to a hospital, correct? So, let me explain what's happened. I happened to bleed a ton when you hit me in the head with that dinner tray and have to go to the hospital to get myself checked out. Are you happy to have your explanation now?
Huh? Why would there ever be any blood coming out of your head? I barely even hit you.
Are you kidding? Take a look at the gosh dang sofa that I was sitting on, please. There's blood all over it still, right?
And that's evidence of why it's not okay for you to be sitting on any sofa at all, right? You are a housewife and have work left to do, so there's no way I was going to allow you to slack off.
What is so bad about me taking a second to sit on the sofa? And it's not even like I was sitting down in the same room as all the rest of the people, right?
A wife like you has no right to even a millisecond of sitting time. I already told you all of this before, right? Another thing, why were you showing all of the guests today to that other room in the house? It's because of you showing them to the room all the way on the other side of the house that they've made my job harder by being so far away from the kitchen.
I just assumed since that other room had a much more relaxed vibe to it, it'd be easier on everyone and they wouldn't have to continue sitting on that old couch in the living room.
Well, you made work on yourself only grow even more by doing something like that, right? I've had enough of this, so get your butt back to the house. I need you back here working right now.
Why are you being so strict with your son's wife like this?
I'm doing all this for your sake, that's why. Back when I was your age, I had the same thing happen between myself and my mother-in-law, who worked me very hard.
Are you talking about Selena?
That's right. I was given the most strict upbringing by her that any wife has ever had on this planet. And that's why I'm going to make you work as hard as I was forced to.
So this is what all that hard work was about? It's because of your own past that you decided to hit me outside the head with a dinner tray and make me bleed?
Shut up. This all has to do with you always being a frickin' brat, talking back to me like you have any say. You are worse than any other housewife I've known. Why did my sweet little boy have to end up marrying such a useless woman like you? Now get your butt back to this house. I'm going to make you work as all wives are supposed to.
I told you it's not going to happen now. I'm in the hospital at the moment to get my head taken care of. Also, why would I ever want to go back to some place where the person who assaulted me is at?
You think that I assaulted you just then? Stop being so overdramatic. I had to make sure to reset your brain after you thought it was a good idea to take a break while you were cleaning and catering to my friends and family. What the hell do you think you're doing going to a hospital after getting hit in the head with a simple tray? Well, now it's your turn, right? Huh? Hello, Jennifer. I had a good look at the moment you took that tray and swung it into Morgan's head a little bit ago. Oh, did you? But that's just the way I chose to handle things. I'm not going to listen to anything more from her about being such a victim to my way of treating her. So just understand that, please. All right, then. Well, I wasn't going to say anything about it anyway. Now, the next time we're all coming over will be in 2 weeks, right? I'll see you all again then. Wait, what are you doing? Why do you think you have to punch me now? You want to know why? Because you decided to sit down with the rest of us when you are the wife of this house. I'm the wife. But from my point of view, you are a younger wife than me in this house, therefore you don't get to have any time to take any breaks. You have to work all the time to clean the place up and serve everyone, right? And so far you've only shown that you're a useless woman. So tell me why you thought it was a good idea to sit on the sofa like that? Oh, wait. That's because... Are you going to try and tell me that punching you would be taking things too far? That's pretty bold of you to say when just a couple of weeks ago you sent your daughter-in-law to the hospital after hitting her in the head with a dinner tray. Well, I didn't do that in front of everyone. I made sure to do that in a place where none of you guys could see it happen. And that's because you knew if you did something as ridiculous as that in front of everyone else, they'd have some awful things to say about you, right? Well, that's right, right? After all, you did hit her in the head with a darn dinner tray. And you know that no matter what reason you may have had for that, the rest of us would not forgive you for it. Right? You have no right to be saying things like this about me. And here we go again with that horrible attitude of yours. You really have me thinking once again about your actions. It's like you're back to that same old toxic woman from back in the day. Shut up! You were the one that treated me like crap when you started to train me to be a good wife. You wanted to make sure that a young wife like me back then would be perfect, and that's why you treated me so poorly at the house. not going to let you say you forgot about all of that. So you are trying to say that the reason you're treating Morgan so poorly is because that's the way you were treated by your mother-in-law back in the day? That's exactly right. That's a fact. Well, I don't ever remember treating in any way what was unfair or justified back then. I only happened to tell you that you were making mistakes and that you were wrong from a mother's perspective. Nope, you absolutely did not do that. You tried to abuse me back then in order to do everything you'd ask of me. It's probably because of all that stress you had that you'd pick fights with me and bully me. Well, you would go out and spend the family credit card on things that were only meant for yourself and without anyone's permission. And you'd use your husband's company's money to take yourself to all kinds of high-end hotels for weeks, right? You were one of the worst wives ever back then. This has nothing to do with what's going on right now. I think it has every bit of a connection to what's been going on here. You happened to go against everything the family asked you to stop doing back then. What you were doing was laced with problems, and it had to stop. That's the reason for everything that happened after, right? Have you still not come around to accepting that yet? Ugh! You're so annoying! I was still young back then, so stop trying to put all the blame on me for what happened back then. And Morgan is the same age now, just about, that you were back when that was all going on, right? I can't do this anymore. I told you to shut up because you're being so annoying right now. An old witch like you needs to shut the hell up already. Ugh. Jesus Christ. You've fallen right back to where you started. You! Don't think that you can get away with things now just because you've become friends with that old witch. I promise you I'll destroy that old witch if that's what you really want to see. And then I'll have you trapped with nowhere left to run.
Destroy her.
I mean exactly what I said there. Did you know that she hit me in the head with a tray as well now? And she did that in front of all the family and friends that were gathered here. So I will take her to court and sue her butt.
What? But, Jennifer, you did the exact same thing to me a little while back, right? Do you think it's okay that you're the only one allowed to do things like that?
I was doing it as a way to get you to stop messing around. But that old witch only did it as a way of picking on me in front of everyone.
Your way of getting me to stop? I'm sorry, but that's not the way I saw it when you hit me so hard you lacerated my head! So, if you really are going to be suing Selena over this, then I'm going to sue you for hitting me in the head!
Excuse me, what the hell are you talking about?
Hold on, you've been talking about this the whole time, right?
Well, listen, miss. Do you even have evidence of me hitting you in the head with any dinner tray?
Are you kidding me?
I never hit you in the head with anything, not even a dinner tray. Selena may be saying that she saw something like that happen, but in her old age, I'm sure her eyes are not 20/20, right?
I can't believe this. It's like you're not even human anymore, that's how screwed up your head is. Not only are you just an awful mother-in-law, but at this point, I think you're better off being locked up in some asylum for the way you're behaving.
Ah, are you trying to make fun of me now? I'll take you to court as well over something like that.
I'm sure you may have forgotten this, but the room you hit me in the head with that dinner tray in happens to be the same room you installed that camera in to watch me. So, that night when I came back to the house, I went and saved all the recordings on that camera to my phone. And so, the evidence of you hitting me really hard over the head with that dinner tray, and all the blood that came out of me after, is saved on my phone.
So that's why you had all those people at the time moved over into the other room to relax for a bit.
That's right. I was thinking it'd be the best place to do it since you probably wanted to keep all your actions a secret from everyone else. However, I never thought you'd end up assaulting me in any way when I chose to take a small break on the sofa.
Then what about the place that Selena ended up hitting me in the head at?
You had that happen to you back in that other room, where there is no camera installed at. Jennifer, you keep talking about how someone like Selena hit you in the head the same way as you hit me. But are you sure something like that really took place?
You'd better stop messing around. Well, it's all going to be okay. There may be no video evidence, but there were a ton of other bystanders in the room at the time that witnessed what happened to me. I'll ask them all to come and help me, and then I'll have the two of you ruined for the rest of your lives.
And I hope that all goes well for you.
Hey, you! What the hell have you said to Isaiah about this? Also, when it comes to my husband, did you say something to him as well?
What do you think I said to them?
I am not here to play games with your stupid butt anymore. I was told by my son just a little bit ago that he wants to cut ties to me forever.
Well, that just happens to be because someone like him does not like the fact that you treated his wife horribly and even hit her in the head with a tray, sending her into the hospital, right? You can relax now because I didn't do or say anything to him that would make him want this.
Stop it with all your bullcrap. Then tell me about my husband then. My husband is asking to get a divorce from me now after what you've done.
And I'd like to think that it's for the same reason as Isaiah had. I believe that your husband was on his last leg with you, and what you did to me was the last straw and made him want to jump ship. Jennifer, I understand that you were going to look for people to back you up over this, but it seems everyone just wants to cut ties with you. Well, that's only natural of all of them. You've been a total jackass this entire time.
What? No matter what you say, this is all your fault. I was just trying to fix you because you're a terrible wife and woman, yet now everyone is trying to leave me. Why me? The only terrible wife in this family is you, Jennifer. You? What do you want from me, you old witch? Look at that. The moment people start to do and say things you don't like, you begin to call them bad names like old witch. You are the one that did many things wrong and are being punished for them, but are too self-centered to even take a moment to reflect on that. I can't believe it, though. You haven't changed one bit from the monster you were in the past. I am speechless. You are always trying to act like you're better than everyone else. Do you think you're the perfect woman? Sure. I'm not perfect, but I sure am better than you. I happen to not be the one with fingers pointed at her for picking on and assaulting her daughter-in-law. Shut up! You have heard about how my son will be divorcing you now, right? In other words, that means you and I will never have to talk to one another ever again. Thank you for what little you offered. Goodbye forever now. What is this? You came all the way out to contacting me just to say something as BS as that? If anything, you're the one with far worse heart than me. Right. After all, I was so bad that you would start calling me an old witch again. Well, I hate being called something like that. And that's why I'm really pissed off with you now. And that is the reason why I will not make things easy for you, and I will make sure that when this is all said and done, you will no longer be able to touch my family ever again. And will go rot in hell with the rest of this world's evil. Ugh! I've had enough with you all messing around with me. So with that, goodbye forever.
Jennifer, can you please stop walking all over outside my house like that? We have all cut ties to you already, so you need to give up and go away.
Why, Morgan? That house is the place I've been living in for the past 30 years. I'm asking you to please forgive me. Please just let me back into your lives.
This was not the choice I ended up making, Jennifer. You were the one that lost your husband after he divorced you, and so there's nothing I can do to help get things back to the way they were. Just go back to your parents' house or something to live the rest of your life.
I don't want to, though. I want to be back living in that house with you. I will apologize for everything I did to you, so please forgive me. I'm asking you to please help me.
It's not going to happen now. And there's nothing I can do to help you after all the trouble you started. Now, if you are going to continue standing outside our house all day causing us trouble, I'm going to have to call the police and have them take you away.
No! Please don't call the police on me now. I won't do anything to you guys, all right? Okay? I'll go away soon.
Wait, Jennifer? Have you done something bad that might get the police to take interest in you?
No, I haven't done anything wrong. I just don't want to deal with the police right now. They scare me, that's why.
Well, I understand there being people that get nervous when they see the police. It's just a natural thing, but... Jennifer, if you've done something wrong that they might be after you for, you should just turn yourself in and confess to it.
I told you I haven't done anything wrong, though. So you don't have to worry about me. So, with that being said, let me ask you this. Do you think you'll ever be able to forgive me?
Asking me to forgive you? Well, based on what the rest of the family is saying about you, I'd rather not have anything to do with you anymore. So please just understand that, and go!
But what if I do seriously change my ways this time, and make sure to treat you very well?
The problem is, no matter how many times you try and change yourself to get us to take you back, you'll just start being a complete witch again! After all, you complained to over 100 different high-end hotels about their service and cleanliness. So I'm sure you'll never stop complaining, right? After that, I went ahead and blocked my mother-in-law's phone number, and since then I haven't heard a thing from her. However, she continued to come by our house quite often to take a look at us and what we were up to. So I had the police called on her, and since then I've never had to see her around our house anymore. I am a little bit worried that she has been up to something no good, and that's why she was so nervous about having the police called on her. But as I was watching the news, wondering about what happened to her, a story came on about how she had been arrested by them. And the reason she was arrested was for purse snatching. She seemed to have been taking all kinds of things out of people's purses and would sell them to pawn shops for quick money. That wasn't all, though. She had also had an expired driver's license while driving her car around town, which only added to her problems. I really have no idea why things ended up this badly for her and why she chose to do things that were illegal in the end. But it made me laugh seeing her be arrested for that. After being arrested and taken to court, she was forced to pay a huge settlement to all the victims of her purse-snatching antics, as well as a fine for driving with an expired license. At that point, it seemed that Jennifer had truly been defeated as she had lost all her money. And so she left town and went back to her hometown looking for help. As of right now, she's at her older sister's house living with her and her husband, and hasn't done anything to get herself into any more trouble since. I really hope that something like that means she is finally settling down and will finally change her ways of being a witch into someone people can actually love. However, only a month after moving in with her sister, things only got worse as she began to start selling things of her sister's at the pawn shop. And when her sister caught on, her sister's husband went and forced Jennifer out of the house. Jennifer had tried to plead for them to let her back in, because at the time she was forced out in only her bathrobe. But they knew better than to do that and called the police on her once again. This time, however, when she was taken into custody, they didn't go as easy on her when she had to go to court and was sentenced to 6 months in jail for theft, which caused her to bawl her eyes out. I guess she really didn't even learn after one time dealing with the law. So hopefully a second time and time spent in a jail cell will put her right. Because if not, she might just end up having to live there for the rest of her life. If not, kill her for messing with the wrong people next time. As for my family and I, ever since Jennifer was kicked out of this house, things have become a lot more peaceful for me. And right now, I'm living in a much more relaxed life as a housewife with my husband and my father-in-law. And when it comes to Selena, I'm forever grateful that she helped me fight Jennifer when I had had enough of her. I like to still have her over with the rest of the family and friends quite often still, as a way of thanking her. However, these times I don't force myself to work a ton, and instead have a seat with all of them every once in a while to talk and relax.